What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video, and today I'm here with my WWE SmackDown review for October the 11th, 2016. Of course, this is the SmackDown episode right after No Mercy. A pretty decent pay-per-view in my opinion. I didn't think it was that extravaganza-ish or anything, but I thought it was pretty well done. There was a lot of good moments on that pay-per-view, and don't be afraid to go check it out. So, without further ado, let's get straight into this. So, we'll talk about Dolph Ziggler coming out first with, of course, he beat The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship at No Mercy, which was easily match of the night. And so pretty much he talked about how he overcame all the odds and how he won the title at No Mercy until The Miz and Maurice come out, and they're all dressed in black and kind of like they've just come back from a funeral or whatever, and they pretty much stand in the ring. It's like, can we please have a moment of silence for the Intercontinental Championship, which I thought, was so funny to me. And Miz talks about how he brought prestige back to the title, and then Ziggler's win was a funeral for it and all that, and that this is Act 2, where the hero needs to overcome the odds, and that Miz will be the hero. And at the end of the match, and then Ziggler shows on the Titantron after the match where Miz was pretty much on the verge of tearing up and looking like a little bitch. So he pretty much says, I was taking it very seriously and all that, and he said, you know what, I'm not done with you, Ziggler, and brings out the Spirit Squad. Just the fact that the Spirit Squad is back 10 years after their run is just, it's just ridiculous, man. So we'll talk about the match, which was the Spirit Squad versus Dolph Ziggler 2-on-1 handicap match. So it was Kenny and Mikey, and this was just a typical throwaway match. There was a double DDT, which was cool, and then Ziggler hit Kenny with the super kick to get the win, which was cool. And like literally the second the bell rang to end the match, Miz zooms in and just beats the shit out of Ziggler, hits skull crushing finale, and then he tells the Spirit Squad, I beat up Ziggler and all that, until Heath Slater and Rhino, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, come in to make the save. So probably next week we're going to get a 6-man tag between Spirit Squad and The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler and Heath Slater and Rhino. So yeah, not a match you'd definitely... If I told you that match like 5 years from now, you'd be like, what the fuck? But yeah. Anyway, the announcers talk about Becky Lynch being out of action with medical condition unrelated to competition. I think it was a neck injury, but they don't want to admit it. And that Becky's going to defend the SmackDown Women's title against Alexa Bliss on the November 8th edition of SmackDown in Glasgow, Scotland. So that'll be very interesting. And we get to Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan backstage in the SmackDown General Manager's room, and they decide to issue a challenge to Monday Night Raw for the Survivor Series pay-per-views, and they want to have 3 5-on-5 elimination matches. So it's pretty much like the bragging rights pay-per-view. So they want to have 3 traditional 5-on-5 elimination matches. First one being from their top 5 superstars on their brand. I'm guessing everyone but the WWE Champion and whoever he's facing, which is looking like AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, which I'll get to later on. A traditional with 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams. So that'd be like a fucking hell. That'd be like a 20-man friggin' team. Like, holy shit. So yeah, 5 tag teams. That'd be like a 20-man match. That's gonna be fucking crazy. And then we have the 5 best women from each brand going on. So it will probably be the Raw Women's Champion leading the team, the SmackDown Women's Champion leading the team, or maybe they'll have separate matches and they'll just use the rest in one. So yeah, that seems like an interesting idea. I mean, it is for Survivor Series, and you have those 3 Survivor Series matches, the rumored Brock Lesnar Goldberg match that's apparently going to happen, and probably a world title match and the Universal title match. So yeah, it could be a pretty cool show, I'm not gonna lie. Then we get to Carmella versus Naomi, and pretty much Carmella, she comes out, and we see the video that was earlier today of when Nikki Bella was promoting Total Bellas and how it's going to be such a great show and all that kind of stuff, and he's really happy. She's really happy and all that, until Carmella doing what she does best and just beating the shit out of Nikki from behind. And then we get Carmella, she's in control of Naomi. Alexa Bliss is watching backstage and all that. And Nikki Bella comes down to the ramp, strutting her hot ass out there until Carmella gets distracted by her, and I think Naomi gets the roll up or whatever, or the win because of it. And then Nikki chases Carmella onto the outside, and she raises Naomi's hand and all that. So so Alexa's backstage, and one of the interviewers come up and said, what do you think about, Naomi getting the win? Do you think it's going to be a triple threat match or some stuff like that? And pretty much he's saying, I can beat Naomi any day of the week. And then Daniel Bryan walks up and says, are you sure about that? Well, we'll let you put that to the test next week. So it's going to be Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. I'm going to be interested to see who wins, because maybe Naomi can get the win and maybe make it a triple threat match in Glasgow. So who knows? It's very, very interesting in my opinion, and cannot wait to see that. So then we get to Chad Gable versus Jimmy Uso. Of course, the feud between American Alpha and Usos is still going strong, and for some reason Jimmy Uso was wearing these neon bright shoes, which were that could blind people, honestly. And then how did this all ended was Jay was pushing his legs onto Jimmy Uso while he was rolling him up, and the ref, being the dipshit that he is, doesn't fucking see it, and so Jimmy Uso gets up the win and all that stuff. So then we get to Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, and Mojo said, why were you partying last night? You know how many hot girls were there? You were at home playing with your action figures. And Ryder's like, dude, we got to stay focused on top. Like, seriously, when Zack Ryder has to be a serious one in tag team, that's when you're a dipshit, in my opinion. And then the Ascension come in and try to, stare them down, like what I would be scared of the Ascension, who lose every single match. But hopefully this could be, the SmackDown brand could revitalize them, which would be good. And then we get to AJ Styles cutting a promo, like a celebration promo about beating John Cena and Dean Ambrose in a triple threat match, and how he's pretty much saying, I'm the face that runs the place, and I beat Ambrose, I beat Cena, I did all this, and winners find a way to win. Really, AJ, I thought Magic Sky just helps you to win. Of course that's how you fucking win, Jesus. And then we get to Dean Ambrose walking out there, and pretty much Ambrose knows Styles wasn't talking about him because Styles likes the easy way out, and that he's not done with Styles and all that. And so Styles says, you know what, I'm going to give someone a main event opportunity, and it's not you, Ambrose, it is James Ellsworth. Yes, Mr. No Chin himself, before Leafy ever made it famous. So James Ellsworth, he's just got, oh man, James Ellsworth is amazing. He's changed the face of the game, and so he's gonna have a match with Ellsworth, non-title of course. And then Ambrose is like, you know what, I actually want to see this match. Let's fucking go. So yeah, non-title match, and Dean says, you know what, Ellsworth 316 says I've got two. Hey, what did he say? Ellsworth 316 has two hands that can fight with any plan. Whatever he said in his match before Braun Strowman, that's what James Ellsworth said. So we end up getting the match, AJ Styles versus James fucking Ellsworth, which is just amazing. And but Daniel Bryan comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to make Dean Ambrose a special guest referee. And AJ's like, what the hell, are you kidding me? And so that's how it all goes down. And pretty much Ambrose is taking out all of his things in his pocket because, he's a lunatic, he's a crazy guy. And so pretty much throughout the match, anytime AJ tried to go for the pin, Ambrose would check his phone, or Ambrose has said to Ellsworth when he was getting beat up by AJ, he's a child, take it easy, and all that stuff. Fast count out to AJ, and pretty much there was a Styles clash, and Ambrose refused to count the three. I remember he went to the outside and tried to pick up a chick. I know Renee Young's not going to like that. And pretty much there was a dirty D to AJ Styles, and pretty much he had the pin, 1, 2, but he kicks out. But then he hits it again, and Ellsworth actually ends up winning. I'm so happy about that. James Ellsworth, legend himself, beats AJ Styles. And there was one thing during the match where AJ went for the Stars Clash. It kind of looked like Ellsworth landed on his head really, really badly. So, yeah, Ellsworth, I hope you're doing alright. Because then we found out on Talking Smack, James Ellsworth went on Talking Smack. Daniel Bryan was like, you know what, congratulations, dude. You know what, we're going to give you a WWE World title match next week. So, either this is going to be the quickest title match in the history of professional wrestling, or maybe they go the whole distance. That'd be very funny, but oh well, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I cannot wait. James Ellsworth for World Champion, boy. So we then get to Randy Orton and Kane backstage and all that stuff, pretty much talking about their tag match. You know, we got to work together, man, and all that kind of stuff. And so then we get to our main event tonight, which is Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Of course, Luke Harper interfered in the main event of No Mercy, helping Bray Wyatt pick up the win. And of course, Randy, he don't want any of that, and he had to team up with someone, so he picked Kane. Fair enough. Kane's had his history with the Wyatts. So yeah, Orton and Kane versus the Wyatt family. So pretty much Wyatt kept on talking about black holes, and pretty much the ref got distracted. Harper hit a super kick. And then during the end of the match, where it looked like Randy Orton was about to pick up some momentum, he goes to try to tag in Kane, then suddenly the Wyatt Family thing pops up, and Kane disappears out of thin air, and Luke Harper shows up in his place. And then you look at Orton, and he's like, wait, what the fuck? Turns around, he gets hit with a Sister Abigail, and he wins. And the Wyatt family wins. Orton's like, what the fuck? What happened? And so Wyatt and Harper do their pose. Kane's still nowhere to be seen. And that's how we end the show. So, wow, that's it's a really, really weird way to kind of end off the show. I know this has been a really weird feud between Wyatt and Orton, but it's interesting. I will say that it's interesting. I don't know if they're going to have a separate match at at Survivor Series. Maybe they'll have their own elimination match. Maybe they'll get put in one. You know, we're gonna have to wait and see, in my opinion. But honestly, I'd like to see Orton. I wouldn't mind seeing Orton and Wyatt having like their own match and make it cool. Make it like a no DQ match or no holds barred or anything. Like make it really brutal. It could be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, SmackDown, pretty solid show in my opinion. Loving the stuff they're doing with Ellsworth in my opinion. You know, it's silly, I know, but hey, it's something, man. It's entertaining to me. The women's division's going alright, even though Becky Lynch's injury is kind of plaguing them a little bit. I think they're going to be all good. Alexa's doing very well for herself. Naomi's really getting up there and all that. So, yeah, decent episode of SmackDown tonight. Well, not tonight, because it's been like 2 days since the episode was released. And yeah, this is about it for my review. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of this episode of SmackDown. If you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You're glad you did. Twitter and Instagram at JackandManLaw if anyone can check me out there. Also check out the Bullshit Club, Billy Marcus TV in the 5/8. Links will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.